Hey guys, welcome to week 4. We're going to be switching it up and we're going to be moving into StudySync. Since we will not be coming back together until next year, I really want to get you guys good and ready to wrap around the concepts that we looked at this week and really propel you into 8th grade. So we're going to be taking it up a notch, but I'm still keeping it nice and breezy since we are online and things are just crazy right now. All right. So the next 2 weeks, we're going to be using StudySync. We use StudySync a ton, so it should be pretty easy to navigate for you. But let's just go ahead and test it out and show you how to get back to there. So what you're going to need to do is go to clever.com. Okay. And if you are using your cell phone, you can totally download the Clever app, which should be pretty easy for you to do. So go to Clever, sign in as a student. I'm going to be Matthew today. And this is what your Clever screen should look like. You're going to go ahead and click on McGraw-Hill. Once you click on McGraw-Hill, it's going to transfer you to this screen that I'm sure you'll remember. You're going to click on Launch. And then once it gets there, it's going to welcome you and say, hey, welcome back. It's been so long. All right, so once you get there, you should have this big, bright, beautiful view of mountains and this beautiful ocean side, all of this beauty. It's going to say week 4, the best we could do, an illustrated memoir. A memoir is someone telling their personal story. It's almost like a narrative, but it's their actual life. You get a glimpse of a moment in time of their life. So what you will do is click on it. And there's an introduction there for you. There's a video that you can watch that kind of prepares you for what you're about to read. I would love for you to play around with the vocabulary, words that you are going to be faced with. So there's chasm, origin, proximity, and resentment. And then there's read. So maybe as you are reading, you can go back and forth through the vocabulary. I think that works better. So this is a graphic novel, so it does give you a summary of what you're about to read, and you're going to get pictures. Again, it's a graphic. So you'll be reading. It's pretty lengthy, but it's mostly lengthy because the boxes of the pictures are so huge. Okay, so it's really not a big read. It took me about 15 minutes to read it, maybe 20 because I was taking notes. Okay, you guys are going to do think questions. There's only 3. As you can see, there's only 3. All right, so you're only going to answer 3 questions, but I want you to use race. Okay, when you're answering your questions, I want you to use race. Race is restate the question. Why does boy feel guilty? Well, boy feel guilty because give me your answer. The next part of race is your answer. And then C, cite. Where are you getting your answer from? Prove it from the text. And then explain. This is your opportunity to go deeper. What does this really mean? What's your own personal connection to that answer? Keep in mind, all 3 of these questions have multiple questions within a question. So they ask, why does she feel guilty? And then what does this guilt reveal about the situation? You have to address all the questions. You cannot just stick to one, okay? So that is your whole assignment. Once you are done, you'll turn it in. You do not have to turn it in on Google Classroom as well. I think that's doing double work. All right, so once you turn it into StudySync, you'll get I'll put in your score for everything like that in StudySync, or I can just totally do it in Google Classroom. Either way, I feel like as long as you turn it in, it should be fine. I'll be able to see it in StudySync. Okay, so Miss Ray, what if I have problems and issues with getting into StudySync and I'm frantic and I'm going crazy? I thought about you. Okay, so there's 2 ways to turn in your assignments. You are going to turn in your assignment through StudySync, really nice and smooth and easy. If for whatever reason you can't get in the StudySync, you're having technical issues, Clever hates you this week, that's fine, okay? That's totally fine. I uploaded the actual passage into our Google Classroom. So the Google Classroom passage is here. The PDF is there. So once you click on it, it's here. And then I have my personal notes here. So when I read, I ask questions, I have thoughts, things come up. Okay, so I'm not going to record myself reading to you because StudySync will read it to you, hopefully. It will read it to you the way that it's set up. So I'm not going to read it to you. However, as you're reading, you'll get my notes. Okay, so like right here, my parents escaped Vietnam on a boat so their children could grow up in freedom. Well, we read about 5 different countries, and I want to say Vietnam was one of them with the when we looked at North Korea and their one-child policy. Or was it China? It was China's one-child policy. Anyway, we looked at North Korea and how difficult it was for the citizens to live there because they were constantly being watched. There were a few different countries that we traveled to in our minds to look at how difficult it was. And so Vietnam, I'm pretty sure, was one of those. And so I'm just kind of reminding you that we've looked at circumstances like this before, okay? So there's a note there. There's 2 vocabulary words there that I point out. Of course, if you do it through Google Classroom, you will not be able to do the vocabulary part. You'll have to look up those words on your own to understand what it means, okay? So right here where it says chasm, I tell you to go look it up in Google and look up actual pictures of what that looks like so that you can get a good idea. And then what does resentment mean and who feels that, okay? So I have my little notes in here. Proximity. What is proximity? How are they different? And so I tell you what Cheers was. Cheers was a popular TV show. So I'm kind of having my own little notes here for you to kind of help you think and process as you are reading. Okay, so everything that you need to complete the assignment is here. I also have the questions, and there's a Google Doc for everyone, just like with the essay. So you can type your answers in the Google Doc if you so choose. I explain what race is, and then I have the 3 questions below. Okay, so again, you can fill in your answers in the Google Doc, or you can handwrite them. Do I need you to write the questions in your interactive notebook? No, because I have the questions already. Just give me the answers and complete sentences using what? You guessed it, race. Okay, try your very best to get race and put it in there. You have thousands of notes where you've used race before. Just dig in those notes and do it, okay? So 3 questions using race for your answers, and you have a reading assignment. Again, if StudySync is giving you problems, please do not text me saying, Ms. Ray, StudySync won't work. I'm not going to ignore you, but I'm just going to tell you to look at the instructions because I've already given you another option, okay? StudySync, if StudySync works, turn it in through StudySync. If StudySync is not working for you for some strange reason, that's okay. Read the PDF in Google Classroom, answer the questions in Google Classroom, or handwrite your answers and text the picture to me. Very simple, shouldn't have any problems. This is due on Friday. I am so proud of all the work that you guys have been doing, and keep up the good work. Can't wait to see your perfectly written race answers on next week. Bye, guys.